just for the heck of it, I thought I'd mention the pole for a minute, how it developed into what it developed into. I still use it today. I still use this today. We're in 2022. I got this pole in 2009 or somewhere around there, 2008. Ronald gave it to me. So what this is, Ronald died, by the way, which sucks, but Ronald gave me this. This is originally a golf ball retriever. And a golf ball, this one's aluminum. The new ones are like graphite and stuff to make them lighter. But I'm glad this one's aluminum. This is telescoping. I'm sorry, I have to hold one hand with the camera. But this actually gets longer. So I just pulled that piece out. See right there? And the entire length of this pole is 18 feet. When it's fully extended, it's 18 feet. Now, originally, I got this pole and I wanted to somehow attach it to the tripod. Now, this is what I call big and beefy, this tripod right here, because it is big and beefy. This tripod, when I put it up, will go 6 feet high to the top of the plate. That actually goes 6 feet, believe it or not. And it's big, and this Richie gave me that. He didn't want this no more. It's massive. It's a Bogan. It's an old Bogan tripod. I love this thing. I still use it today. It's awesome. So anyway, we got this, and back in the day, I had a glide cam. And on top of the glide cam, I had a GL2, which is funny because that's how they market the glide cam. The glide cam has, on their product picture, has a GL2 on top. And I was like, that's pretty funny. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to walk with the glide cam, but then I wanted to quickly attach it as a quick release to the tripod, and then use the tripod so I could still use the same camera. Use the tripod, then pull it off and have the glide cam back in my hand. I wanted like this quick release system. And I figured out somewhat of a way to do it, but I couldn't quite figure it out. Bill, who's a civil engineer, he figured it out. So what we did, I'm not going to detach it from this. This is just a piece of wood. And these are broom holders or mop holders for a closet. And they usually hang in a closet like this, and you put your broom in there and they snap in. And it's actually a quick release. If it wasn't zip tied, I can just grab this pole and pull it right on out. So what we did is I got this plate. You'll see these markings on there. Here's the actual plate for the tripod. You'll see there's markings on there. This mounts on there so that I can turn the head sideways. So that the plate's actually sideways like this. And then this piece of wood used to snap onto the tripod like this. And I would have the glide cam in there, and I could pull it out, and the piece of wood stays on the tripod, the mount. But then I started using this pole, and I got rid of the glide cam because I got an actual gimbal. There's the gimbal on the end of the pole. We'll get to that in a minute. So I started using the pole and putting it on the tripod. Now the tripod's 6 feet high, and then I had the pole extended all the way up. And the reason why is when we started doing marching band, at the very end of the pole, I put a 1/4 inch 20 right there. See that right there? And I used to attach a GoPro right to the very top of that and sit it 20, that's like at least 20 feet up. That's how high that was. So I had the pole extended all the way up on there so that I can get a really super high view of the marching band from the top of the stands. Then when I started to do, I don't have any pictures. I mean, I can't find them. There's markings all over this pole of certain things that I made for it. And I made an attachment for it, and I would put the microphone on it. And that's the microphone I use now for my handheld. It is a mini shotgun mic. So by having the camera and the microphone all the way up, 20 feet up, it's away from the people. You don't hear anything. It's pointed at the marching band. It was really cool. And then I made a thing out of a 2-liter bottle, kind of like barn doors for a microphone. It went around the microphone to block out even more sound from people talking or whatever. So this was really cool setup. And in some of the marching band videos, you can see that because sometimes you'll see the camera moving like this because this is so high up, it's blowing in the wind. So I ended up leaving this here. We don't use this pole in that manner anymore. I can, but I don't need to. I leave this on here because now it's kind of like a counterweight. Because now I have the gimbal on the end of it. And so when I'm walking around with the pole extended, it kind of helps me have like a counterweight with the gimbal on the end. And I still use this for car shows and all kinds of stuff. I used it in the marching band video. And I'm thinking about talking over the marching band video, and I can show when I use the pole, because I do have a drone shot in there. We had a drone for a year or two, and then I got rid of it. But I just thought I'd mention the pole, because Ronald gave it to me, and on the end there used to be there's a little thing right here for a golf ball. It was broken, so I pulled it out, and I started using this for all my camera equipment. And it's coming so handy, and it's given me such a different look than anybody else has. Also, for cars, you know, they can do donuts around me and different things, burnouts, and I can get super, super close with the camera. And technically, I'm not as close as the camera. But when you're looking at the footage, it looks like I'm right there. And I'll see if I can find some stuff. There's some really good footage I have online of some really cool slow motion stuff. Also at drifting, when you change the GoPro to 240 FPS, the stabilization turns off, so you need the gimbal, and I can get some really killer slow-mos at drifting. I'll try and show some of that. But anyway, I thought I'd talk about the pole for a minute because it started by Ronald just giving it to me. And he said, maybe you can use this for something. Because I've seen people online use painter's poles before with a camera on the top of a painter's pole. And that's a great idea because they're telescoping too. But this came in so handy. Marching band, it was perfect because it was so high up. And it just became so cool, and then it just developed into this, and I still use it to this day. I'm always making all kinds of stuff. I'll see if I can put the link to the GoPro footage that I did with the marching band underneath this video. And I used to make all my own mounts. You know, I mounted the GoPro to the flute, to, you know, saxophones, trumpets, mellophones, all the different types of drums, people's heads, people's chests. Of course, you can use the head mount and the chest mount. But I had to make a lot of my own stuff to adapt to, you know, they don't make a saxophone mount, you know, and all that stuff. So I had to make all these weird things. So I would always roll up with all my own equipment. I have a homemade slider that I made out of PVC pipe. And, you know, so I got PVC pipe. I have this pole. I have all these weird looking things I've made with clamps. But it all works so well when you see how the footage comes out. It works so good. But I thought I'd talk about the pole for a minute because I still use it to this day. And we're talking about, you know, I don't know, 13 years later or something, I still use that. And that's one of the tricks in my arsenal of camera equipment stuff. Because a lot of people don't do that, and they probably should. They'll be like, oh no, it's fine in my hand. It's like, no, there's so many other things you can do. But anyway, thanks for watching this stupid little video.